where we help you make sense of West Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. We started the week with great news for investors across the region. Several flagship stocks posted solid gains on Monday, July 14th, led by Unilever, Côte d'Ivoire, and Bank of Africa Senegal. Leading the pack was Unilever, Côte d'Ivoire, which jumped 7.48% to close at 20,415 francs CFA. Over the past year, the stock gained a staggering 215%, showing continued investor confidence in the company's growth strategy across Francophone markets. Next, Safca Côte d'Ivoire rose 6.92%, ending the session at 695 francs CFA, paring back its earlier losses in 2025. Bank of Africa Senegal followed with a 5.99% gain, closing at 4,250 francs CFA. The move reflected positive momentum in the financial sector, likely in anticipation of strong H1 earnings reports. Solibra Côte d'Ivoire, a leading beverage company, gained 5.72% to reach 19,320 francs CFA. The stock benefited from seasonal demand driven by summer festivals and increased local consumption. Lastly, Bernabé Côte d'Ivoire climbed 5.28% to 1,395 francs CFA, boosted by recovery in the construction materials segment and renewed public sector demand. However, not all stocks advanced. SICOR CI fell 5.71% to 3,300 francs CFA. Despite stable fundamentals, selling pressure appeared to weigh on the stock. Uniwax Côte d'Ivoire, a textile leader, dropped 4.55% to 525 francs CFA amid investor uncertainty and some profit-taking. Other notable losers included Air Liquide CI down 2.86% to 510 francs CFA, Sodi CI, which fell 2.31% to 5,110 francs CFA, and Société Ivoirienne de Banque, which declined 1.92% to 5,095 francs CFA, despite being up 43% year-to-date. The BRVM Composite Index closed the day down 0.28%, ending at 305.07 points. Yet year-to-date, it remained up more than 10%, signaling continued momentum for long-term investors. The BRVM Prestige Index, which tracks high-cap stocks, declined 0.48%, while the BRVM Principal Index ticked up 0.53%. This divergence suggested that traders rotated into smaller, more dynamic companies. By sector, consumer discretionary led the way with a 2.04% increase, driven by Solibra. Consumer staples followed with a 1.82% rise, thanks to Unilever's rally. Energy edged up 0.27%, reflecting stable oil-linked sentiment. Meanwhile, telecommunications and utilities declined 1.13% and 0.94% respectively, due largely to selling in Orange CI and Sonatel. The bond market remained extremely quiet. Just 146 bond units were traded, totaling 1,394,156 francs CFA in value. That marked an 87% decline from the previous session. Only one bond fell, the Malian 10-year bond with a 6.50% coupon. All other sovereign and corporate bonds stayed flat. Investors seemed to stay on the sidelines, awaiting fresh sovereign debt issuances, particularly from Mali and Burkina Faso. With yields holding steady near 6.5%, the market lacked catalysts to spark activity. So what should you take away from today's session? First, the surge in Unilever CI and BOA Senegal confirmed that large-cap leaders still had room to run, especially in consumer and banking sectors. If you were looking to build a solid long-term portfolio, these stocks were worth tracking closely. Second, the pullback in telecoms could present a buying opportunity for long-term investors who believed in Africa's ongoing digital transformation. On the bond side, institutional players remained cautious. If you were a retail investor, this could have been a good time to consider midterm sovereign bonds, offering around 6.5% in annual yields, relatively stable income in a low volatility environment. To get weekly stock picks, exclusive in-depth research, and lower investment fees, consider subscribing to Daba Pro. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you stay ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba Markets Talk podcast. We'll be back next Monday with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your App Store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.